Next on Deck with Tim Black.
We'll fight against Doge. We'll fight Elon Musk. No Elon scab within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on?
The side that can hold a note. The side of people that aren't nutty. The side is not so goofy and misreasonable that lives in the real world. Ex-Democrat Tulsi Gabbard has been confirmed as the Director of National Intelligence. But let's reflect for a second.
Now to an extraordinary development in the presidential campaign. Hillary Clinton, the 2016 nominee, called Tulsi Gabbard, one of the current candidates, quote, the favorite of the Russians.
Hillary Clinton did not mention Tulsi Gabbard by name, but an aide confirms that that's who she was talking about when she made this stunning claim that the Russians had already hit on a way to meddle in the 2020 election, much in the same way they meddled in her election in 2016. On a podcast interview, Clinton said, quote, they're grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. Clinton was referring to the fact that the Hawaii Congresswoman gets a lot of attention from Kremlin-linked media, just as Green Party candidate Jill Stein did back in 2016. This afternoon, Gabbard lashed back, accusing Clinton of trying to destroy her reputation and calling Clinton, quote, the queen of warmongers, embodiment of corruption, and personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party for so long.
Oh, look, some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse. Or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used, which basically means that I'm naive or lack intelligence to know what's going on.
They use that.
I want to let your viewers know exactly who I am.
All right.
Set the record straight. I am a patriot. I love our country. I am a strong and intelligent woman of color, and I have dedicated almost my entire adult life to protecting the safety, security, and the freedom of all Americans in this country. It was the attacks on 9/11.
There is a chance that Tulsi is not just working for the United States of America, but I digress. So,
oh, wait a minute.
What does that mean?
That's not just an allegation. I firmly believe that.
Message is coming now.
No, here I know. Watch the bots come on Twitter now. I firmly believe that Tulsi Gabbard stands on that stage is the antithesis to what the other 11 individuals stand for, especially when it comes to issues such as foreign policy. There is no question. Yeah. There is no question that Tulsi Gabbard, of all the 12, is a puppet for the Russian government.
Whoa. I mean, that was strong.
Breaking news now. We have been monitoring while that hearing was going on Doge. We will get right back to it. But for now, Tulsi Gabbard has enough votes to become the next Director of National Intelligence.
I, Tulsi Gabbard, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I gotta take this in for a minute. That's something else. That's all I'm saying. That is amazing. That's amazing. Eat your heart out.
I take this obligation freely.
I take this obligation freely.
Under Biden, the FBI abused its power for political reasons to try to surveil Catholics who attend traditional Latin Mass, labeling them as quote-unquote radical traditionalist Catholics. Personally, just 24 hours after I criticized Kamala Harris and her nomination, I was placed on a secret domestic terror watch list called Quiet Skies. Sadly, there are more examples. The bottom line is this must end. President Trump's re-election is a clear mandate from the American people to break this cycle of failure end the weaponization and politicization of the intelligence community, and begin to restore trust in those who've been charged with the critical task of securing our nation. If confirmed as DNI, I will do my very best to fulfill this mandate and bring leadership to the intelligence community with a laser-like focus on our essential mission, ensuring the safety, security, and freedom of the American people.
Yeah, I wanted to end it with this by taking a look at here, this tweet by Bernie Sanders back in 2019, back when Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat who was on way to become the DNC chair, and she rejected that position. Yeah, she turned her back on the Hillary Clinton wing of the Democratic Party and decided she'd rather go with Bernie Sanders. Here she is pictured with Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders then, back in 2019, he defended Tulsi Gabbard against attacks that she was a Russian operative, which was the smear of the day. Everybody was Russian. You're a Russian, you're a Russian, you're a Russian, you're a Russian. Everybody was Russian. All because Hillary lost. Tulsi Gabbard's put her life on the line to defend the country. People can disagree on issues, but it is outrageous for anyone to suggest that Tulsi is a foreign asset. She was an active veteran and a former member of Congress. Was she still a member of Congress at the time? I don't even know. Wasn't vetted enough for them, I guess. No evidence was ever presented. No evidence was ever presented to verify their claims that she was a foreign asset. Sure, people said stuff. Everybody said stuff. They impugn this woman's character with this bullshit. Look, I had my issues with Tulsi Gabbard. I've been well documented as such. I feel like she used Bernie. Bernie used her too. But I didn't know Bernie was using her at the time. I felt she was using Bernie. He stabbed her in the back later. She stabbed him in 2019. He stabbed her later. You know, when everybody dropped out, I hung Bernie out to dry. Now I'm thinking about it. Maybe Bernie wanted it that way. I really don't know. I don't know what to think about Bernie Sanders anymore. Doesn't matter. It's the water under the bridge. Thing is, she was for certain policies, just like Kamala was, and then she moved away from them. And that had me upset with her. I was like, I can't believe this. Why is she changing? Then now that I look back and I say, well, you know what? Maybe she never really was on board with the whole progressive thing. I know I ended up not being. I can understand that. Some things she felt conservative about, some things she felt progressive about, some things she felt in the middle about it. I don't know. People's opinions change. Maybe putting her on a fly list or a no-fly list, a dark list or whatever she called it, I forget the name, and smearing her relentlessly, putting her reputation in a grinder when she's been on the fucking battlefield, when she's been in hostile conditions serving our country, while your fat ass was sitting in D.C., hugging a chair, hugging with your hips in a steel chase, eating Chick-fil-A. She was on maneuvers. So, like, maybe that has something to do with how she ends up feeling. I did always have a feeling maybe she'd go with the Republicans. Like, I bet she gonna go Republican. God, do it. But you know what it is, guys? It's disheartening what Bernie did. Bernie, you said, you know, she's not a Russian asset. You say that. But then when it's time to vote for her, you didn't vote for her. Republicans don't need Democrats to vote for them to get confirmed. They don't need them. But it does say something when you vote against somebody who supported your campaign, was a surrogate for you, who you defended in 2019. Has she become an operative since then? But you voted for Marco Rubio's confirmation. Which leads me to believe the Democratic Party are a bunch of bullies. Yeah, I know it's easy to say Bernie's just a piece of garbage. And he could be. He could be. Spineless. What's the term? Feckless. Flaccid. Flimsy. Coward. But maybe there's some truth there. But maybe also there's some truth that the Democratic Party squeezes the life out of you. Then it threatens you and it pokes you and it says, we'll kill you. I'll literally kill you. I'll take everything you have, strip you, leave you to die in the wilderness. I'll take your position, your means of living, of feeding yourself. If that don't work, I'll go after your family. We'll plant stories. We'll fabricate. We'll use every resource. Leave no stone unturned to ruin your life. Maybe that's how the Democrats roll. Maybe it's not just Bernie. Maybe it's the system. Doesn't mean he gets a pass. I believe this system is. I believe this system is that corrupt. I believe that's what happens. If you don't do the bidding of the machine will churn you out. It will eat you up. It will grind you into a fine powder. It scatter your ashes in what used to be a career. Yeah, man, Tulsi Gabbard got confirmed today, and I can't believe, man, I'm wondering how other people feel. But there was nowhere for them to go. I know there's others that can't stay in the Democratic Party. They can't really. Not what it is. Maybe what it was when they first got in it was different on a local level. They can't truly. But they got nowhere to go. Tulsi could go with Trump. Can we? Can black politicians go with Trump? I mean, really? Let's not be foolish and think everything's the same for everybody. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know how welcoming Republicans would be. They say they're welcoming, but I don't know. But she had a place to go and she took it. Now I wonder what happens now. What would Tulsi Gabbard do? She's in power. She's in a powerful position, man. Over the alphabets. Over intelligence. You stick it to someone thinking they never get big. You know, like a bully that bullies you in the schoolyard when you're little, picks on you, takes your lunch money, smacks you upside the head, gives you wet willies, pulls your pants up. What's that thing? Gives you a wedgie. Yeah, push your drawers up over your head, puts it over your head. Spitballs. Frogs in your arm. And you just sit there going, man, I wish I was big. You're like Joe Pesci. I wish I was big just once. I wish I was just big just one time, just once. What happens when the rabbit get the gun? Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Well, Tulsi Gabbard's got the gun. Tulsi Gabbard now has the gun now. What you gonna do? What's gonna happen? See, that's why they really freaking out. John Cusack. That was John Cusack, the actor. John, I hope you don't mind. We used to talk on Twitter and DMs. John used to tell me about Tulsi Gabbard. Tim, she's bad, man. She's bad news. Hey, man, I don't know much about Modi. I don't rock with no nationalists. You know, Hindu nationalists. I stay local. And, I stay in like American politics. You know what I'm saying? But you know I'm talking about, Kuzak. I know. But you gotta admire it. You know? Whatever you say about Tulsi Gabbard and her politics, Democrats in general have bad politics. Not the foreign policy of many of the people that are in office. I mean, Biden's foreign policy was ass. Obama's foreign policy was ass. I didn't hear a lot of y'all complaining. I didn't hear a lot of Democrats, even ones that say they're progressive, I didn't hear them complain that much about Biden's shit. Now when they say they had to make a choice between Trump and Biden, they went on with Biden twice. But they had so much to say about Tulsi. It just seemed contradictory. Like if you're going to say this person's foreign policy is garbage, but you support a policy that's foreign, but you support garbage foreign policy from another candidate with a D in front of their name, it just seems like a bunch of bullshit. Hey, I could be getting some things wrong. Maybe I'm mixing some of this stuff up. But what's going to happen now? She got big. She's coming back to school, meaning D.C. She's coming back to D.C. And she's going to see you in the hallway. And she got people. I don't know. I can't find a fuck to give if she gets you back. You know, I can't find any sympathy for you. You know what I'm saying? I can't disagree with her paying you back. That's all I'm saying. Same thing I feel about Trump. A lot of y'all were complaining Trump's going to want revenge. Well, you went through his wife's underwear drawer for nothing. Disrespectful. You've been in his ass for 10 years. And then you're upset you think he's going to get back at you? Why would he do that? Nah, it's a you know what you would do if you were him, is what it is. You know what you would do if you were him. And some of you know what you would do if you were her. I know if I'm the ladies on the View that was giving Tulsi that shit, giving her. Yeah, I never really did anything to Tulsi, so I think I'm okay. I never, except disagree with her on a couple things, but I never really made her, target. There's nothing I can do. I'm just a guy with a little YouTube channel, but I tell you, hope we cool. Kind of now wish I could go back in time and take those tickets to go to the debate. But yeah, I have no delusions. I am who I am, and I would never fit into any of that structure. But I can tell you this. I feel good seeing this. Because see, I don't trust any politicians. Not a one. I grew up. And I don't even trust the people that do trust politicians. Either they didn't grow up or they on the take. Either they don't know shit or they on the take. One or the other. Not our system. Not a system that's running off money where the corporations and the lobbies run the politicians. Even though if you're talking to them, if you're talking to their donors, you don't know who you're even negotiating with. It's like being around a bunch of Hollywood people telling you they're going to call you. They don't even have your number. How could they? It doesn't dawn on you until you're going home like, hey, I need to give her my number. How good? You're not even a friend on their DMs. You can't even DM them. So anyway, Tulsi Gabbard, she got confirmed today, and look, I'm not upset about it. People said, oh, God. I said, look at her. I said, look at Tulsi Gabbard. Democrats lose again. Someone said, Tim Black, no, we lose. What you mean, we, mofo? See, you don't understand. I'm focused on Black America getting something for their vote. Black America moving from off the bottom. Tulsi Gabbard doesn't hurt that. She didn't have any real focus on Black people, which is another thing I had a problem with, because I am focused on Black America. And being a sponsor on that shitty HR 40 version that she sponsored didn't mean anything. That's easy. Everybody, I'm a sponsor. I put my name on that. Like Kamala, I put my name on that. And then proceed to move away from it when time comes. So who cares? But yeah, you say I should be upset about this and the whole world is doomed. And I say, walk it off. Tulsi Gabbard being in office don't change shit for us. And it couldn't get any worse. And you know what? I feel the same way I feel about all the shit Trump's doing. I want to see what happens. Because I didn't much like the way things were. Unlike some of you guys, I thought our government was run very ineffectively. And at least the way it was running, Black people sitting on the bottom. Black kids, only 11% of Black children are doing math on the correct level, compared to 75% of white children. And I'm saying, you want me to be concerned about what? Because this person got a job in an administration doing what? What? What are you talking about? We got problems. Let me put it to you this way. If you sit at home, unless you work for the federal government, that's different. And you just found out you don't have a job anymore, that's different. I understand. But if that's not the case, if you can sit at home and be crying in your wine because there are being changes made to our government, and that's the only problem you got, that you can sit up at night worried about that, you are lucky. Consider yourself fortunate. Consider yourself blessed. Because some of us have real problems. All right, guys. Congratulations. I mean, what the hell? I like to see comeuppance to people that deserve it. And I think if you're going to call somebody a foreign asset, you should have to prove that shit. In fact, they should all be in jail. And I want to see what happens with Letitia James and the whole crew in New York. I want to see what Mayor Eric Adams has to say. I want to hear what Blagojevich, I didn't even cover him yet. Remember that guy from Chicago that they set up? Word on the street is they married and buried his ass. Yeah, I want to hear what he has to say, what Blago has to say. Yeah, let's see what, I'm interested because I'm not married to either party. I want the outcomes to be better for us, the people. So shake it up.